last year. Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Brew's upset that Greg has become C.J. Stroud's #1 defender.
I'm upset because he's trying to take.
Okay, we're doing the AFC South
It's
tomorrow.
predictions week.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Right
Wild.
now, we're talking about the AFC and NFC North. Reminder, by the end of the week, we will be staked to these predictions, locked in stone by the end of the week. So if you say Daniel Jones is a top 10 QB, which we're not even discussing, you'll never live it down. Let's see where we are so far in predictions week. Nick, he's got a lot of open slots. Why Brew only
He's
has
got one more open slot than me. Maybe
In the
33%.
Yeah, exactly.
So Nick, it's your board. Take it away.
AFC North 4-1 at number 4. This is the year the bottom falls out. Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think they're going to get off to an amazing start, and they have to because the back end of this schedule, if we can show it quickly, is so absolutely brutal. They could start the season 7-3. I think we can show the schedule at some point and still finish below 500 for the first time in the Tomlin era. You don't even have to look at the right-hand column. Just look week 11 on. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals.
Ouch.
So, I think early on they're probably 500-ish, and then afterwards. But so I think 5-12 would be good for them. If you're yeah, I think I think that would be good for the franchise. Is what I'm saying.
But okay.
I think
but
a
not
5-12.
a good
No. What I'm saying is Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, Shador Sanders, Jalen Milroe, my guy on NCAA football, Jackson Dart and Ole Miss. Ooh, boy,
like
nice little dual threat. Great name too. So those are the guys, Steeler fans. You've been too good to be in that mix since Big Ben, and so that's the world you need to live in. Number 3. The Cleveland Browns. Deshaun still isn't healthy, and they kept 4 quarterbacks. You have Mac Jones Memorial Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley on the roster. You have DTR on the roster. You still went out and signed Jameis Winston. After this year, it's only 2 of those guaranteed years left on Deshaun's deal. Interesting. I don't think Deshaun makes it through the season as the starter, and I'm not saying because he's going to get hurt again. I think at some point they have to admit that's the worst trade and worst contract in NFL history. It is a sunk cost. You have to try to pull yourself out.
Yikes.
And Jameis is there for a reason, in my opinion. They're a third-place team. Now the surprise, I imagine. Number 2, but in the playoffs, Brew, is the Ravens. I know you were worried I was going to have them missing the playoffs.
Last year you had them missing the playoffs.
I did have them missing the playoffs last year, and I was wrong. After how the playoffs went, maybe they wish they had, but still, we as analysts need to learn from the lessons of previous years. We watched the Eagles 2 years ago, and Jalen take this huge leap, and everyone's like, Shane Steichen, he's amazing. Look at this coordinator. Shane Steichen leaves, and everyone's like, well, that shouldn't matter at all. Everything will be fine. It wasn't. We watched Baltimore overachieve defensively last year. We're like, Mike McDonald, he should be a head coach. He is now. He left. I think that is a significant loss. I know Brew loves their offensive linemen that they lost because he now believes in the Jets' offensive line because they got them. So that seems to me to be a significant loss. They added Derrick Henry, but they were already a great running team. So to me, that's just enough for them to go from 13 wins down to 10. Meanwhile, the Bengals were around 500 in life for the playoffs, even though Joe Burrow was out half the year. They win the division. And I also think, lastly, Greg, this is a massive year for the Bengals because I think Mike Brown is going to Mike Brown after this. They don't sign T. Higgins because they're going to pay Jamar Chase, and now they don't pay Jamar Chase. This is a team that used to charge you for equipment and sodas in the locker room. Just because you lucked into Joe Burrow and paid him, and you had to sell the naming rights to the stadium in order to do it, doesn't mean you've changed your stripes, no pun intended. And so I am worried about the Bengals' ability to compete as a championship organization after this season. This is their moment. And again, we're going to give them Super Bowl predictions. Maybe I'll surprise some people, but I think the Bengals are going to be outstanding, and the Bengals win the AFC North.
Yeah, I think you lined this one up pretty good. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, we heard Mike Tomlin. He doesn't like what he has at the quarterback position. In this league, you got to have a quarterback. And defensively, I don't think they're as strong and as stout as the Browns, which is why I would have the Browns at 3. The Ravens, Brew, I love you, man. But it's just, they're not going to repeat, man. They're just not going to
Repeat what?
This division title.
Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in that division, and he is going to be healthy.
Are you gonna put
and he
Greg
has
on
the
your
better
board?
weapons.
Probably.
They're going to win that division.
Greg, you're going on the board.
On Wilds is Lamar Bulletin.
Lamar.
That wasn't a shot at Lamar. It's Lamar specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's-
all right, got it. Sorry.
Can't shoot at Lamar
No,
when you talk about the
he
best
should be on the
quarterback
board.
in
He should be on the board. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know.
All right.
All right. Anyway, it wasn't right. Greg is wrong on this, and so are you, Nick. Number 4, hate to say it, my hometown, one of my hometowns, Cleveland Browns. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm all with you on Deshaun. I mean, my goodness, he brought it all on himself. It is what it is. Defensively, I love him, but the offensive line is in shambles right now just because of injuries.
Yeah.
You know, guys are getting hurt in
They'll
the
be getting
preseason.
guys back.
They already had a couple guys hurt. And I think, though, that's going to hurt the run game. Chubb is on the pup list.
Yeah.
And last year, you're right, even without him, they had a great run game, but I think a lot of that was the offensive line. I think now they'll struggle a little bit with the run. I generally like them, but, you know, everybody can't make the playoffs, so I got them in 4th. I'm not as down on the Steelers as you guys. I don't have them making the playoffs, but I have them finishing 3rd. Last year, they won 10 games and made the playoffs with Kenny Pickett.
Well, but they made
year-
it because
and he
of
was
Mason
horrible.
Rudolph at the end.
I get, but okay, but Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph,
no,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not
He played well.
obviously haven't been impressed with Russ and Justin.
Really? Where are the
But
sunglasses?
well, no, that he's a star. But Tomlin, why doubt him now? And again, I think the Steelers are gonna have a pretty good year. They'll still have a strong defense. Tomlin has shown he can win. Even the last years of Big Ben, when they weren't that good of a team, but they won games. And Big Ben wasn't close to his old self. So these guys, I think, are upgrades. As unimpressive as they've looked, they're upgrades over Pickett. So I think they'll be in the 3rd slot. Now we got Cincinnati making the playoffs at number 2. There's a part of me saying, you know, that wanted to go against the Bengals being in the playoffs. But that was the same part of me. I felt the same as 2 years ago when I said they wouldn't make it.
Also, another one of your hometowns.
Well, another one of my hometowns, yes, absolutely. So they are going to make the playoffs. I think you made some good points, Nick, that is there a feeling of we got to get it done now? I think they'll definitely bring back Jamar Chase, but T will probably be gone for sure. But then I got number 1, the Baltimore Ravens. And part of it is that they own the Bengals. And that was my impetus for picking them last year to get to the Super Bowl, was I thought Cincinnati could take out Kansas City and then Baltimore would take out Cincinnati. Lamar's 8-2 against the Bengals, 4-1 against Joe Burrow. So I love the moves they made. I know they lost, like you said, the defensive coordinator, but their culture, Nick, with or without McDonald, their culture has been defense and running the football. Regardless of the personnel, they're always in the top 10, if not the top 5 defensively. They still got Justin Matabuki. They still got Roquan Smith. They still got Kyle Hamilton. And they feel like, man, I don't know. I think obviously they respect the Chiefs. But I'm sure they feel like we gave them that game, whether that's right or wrong. We went away from who we are. We lost our identity and gave them that game. And Lamar, everything people said he can't do, he's been able to do. And so I got Baltimore repeating as a
Somebody
AFC
should
North.
say he can't play well in the playoffs, then maybe he will.
Well, plenty of people are saying.
Can I ask a real question first? You're very close with the Ravens looking for revenge on the Chiefs to calling Week 1 Thursday night.
Say it.
Must win?
For the Ravens, no. No.
I mean, you were right there.
That's what I thought he was doing too.
No. No, that's not a must win.
Okay.
Be a nice win, but not a must win.
Not a second.
Look, every single year we expect the Ravens to make this jump because of Lamar Jackson and what he's going to improve on. I don't see it happening this year because I feel like he's going to have to shoulder so much more because he does have an older backfield, Derrick Henry, and we expect Derrick Henry to come in there and just run the ball. But and
You
he's
think
lost.
they declined in
No,
the
I think he's going to go back to what he was doing and what was more effective for him, which is running the ball a little bit more
I agree.
and trying to still throw the ball from the pocket and outside the pocket.
That's a little bit of the weight loss.
I
we
think
talked
that
about,
was,
too.
yeah, I think
We'll
that's
see.
why
But
he lost.
your Philly or Pittsburgh and Cleveland, you got one team that has an identity. Cleveland has an identity, with or without a quarterback right now that we know is going to be good.
You don't
They
think
haven't-
Pittsburgh has an identity?
What's their identity?
Defense and
Offensively.
toughness. That's it.
Offensively,
We don't have a quarterback. They haven't had
They
a
used to be able
quarterback
to
for 4
run the
years.
ball. Now
Can I?
they're not doing that.
Of the Steelers and Browns, I honestly believe of all the quarterbacks on both teams, Jameis is the best one.
Well,
I truly believe though.
look,
That's a
Jameis
decent
was a
take.
dark horse MVP
that's
years ago.
great, man. I forgot about.
I mean,
like,
really.
I really. I know we got to go to the NFC, but it's just like The Steelers had a full-blown competition. The Browns have 4 guys, and he's just one of the backups. I think he's better than all of them. I really do.
Better than Joe Flacco. You can get to the playoffs. All right, let's head over to the NFC North. Jared Goff. Another one of Greg's guys. I'm a junior varsity Jared Goff guy. Lions looking to make another run. And then this is also oddly Greg's guy, Jordan Love.
That's
Greg,
really
this is
Greg's
just
guy.
not fair. You can't just claim
he's
because you
claiming
live in
every guy
Minnesota.
Jared Goff.
He's claiming every
He's not a
quarterback.
Jared Goff.
Thank you,
That's
Nick.
crazy.
He likes the Lions.
No, but he's not a Jared Goff.